Jevon Holland is with us. We're at Hollywood Kia. Today is also a Ticket Wizard Tuesday on the Hoch and Crowder Show. Traffic tickets happen to everyone. Don't let it ruin your day. Go to ticketwizard.com and stop worrying about it. 5 minutes could save you more than $500 on your next ticket. So Jevon had himself a game on Sunday night, and the Dolphins are 2-0 to start the season, and they've got the Broncos coming to town on Sunday, the home opener. Let's start. I'm going to give you a little guest choice here, even though you're not really a guest. You're part of the show once a week, but I'll give you a little choice here. What do you want to discuss first? Your tackle for a loss, which was a thing of beauty. I watched it over and over. Bradley Chubb's game, which was amazing. Andrew Van Ginkel's game, which was an A+, or Mike McDaniel's speed when he ran off at halftime after his interview. What do you want to discuss first?
Let's go with Andrew Van Ginkel first. Gink is undeniable. I told him that before the game. I told him that all throughout camp. They're moving his position around. You see he's at linebacker, stand-up. He's outside backer. His game is undeniable. You get him on the field, he's going to get to the quarterback. And I love being out there with him. He's exciting to play with, 100%.
Did you see, like, when Vic came in, when Coach Fangio came in and started using in different plays? Because he's been on the team. He's made plays in the past. It's just not what he's doing now.
Yeah, no, it's completely different from what he was asked to do in previous years. And I was there when they asked him to switch his position, and he was nervous about it. And I told him, I said, bro, if anybody can do it, you can, and I believe in you. And so you see that, like, he's making plays as a stand-up backer, and then he's reverting back to what he was doing in past years and making plays as an outside backer, rushing the quarterback. So now it's a delightful thing to see, especially for somebody who works as hard as he does, keeps his head in the dirt, doesn't really say much, but you know that when he steps on the field, you're going to get 100% from him. So it's been awesome.
How about Bradley Chubb, though? He had a game Sunday night as well. You kept hearing his name called.
Yeah, dude. I mean, everybody on the defense was really stepping up, but seeing those guys, the outside backers, especially get to the quarterback, it makes my job easier as a DB when the quarterback has no time to throw. And it also makes me as a player happy to see those guys celebrating and doing their dances and whatnot, really, putting in all the work throughout practice and then working on their games and stuff. And finally it coming to fruition on the football field on Sunday. So that was great.
And solidifying that run defense, something we talked about week one, where y'all stepped up. You're on pace to have 212 tackles this year. Do the math. 11 and 14. If you add that by, multiply 12 and a half by 17, it's 212 and a half tackles this year, man. How are you everywhere?
I'm trying to help my team win, man. That's the bottom line. I'm trying to help my team win, and I want to be a complete player. I don't just want to be able to defend passes and cover. I want to also be able to, be a force in the run game. And so that's how I'm doing it right now. That wherever they need me, I'm gonna try to step up at. And after week one, we definitely needed help in the run game, and along with the front, like, we all had to step up. And so I was happy that I was able to step into that role and be a force to stop that, because the Patriots have a two-headed monster, Ramondre and Zeke, man. So through this week, I was really in the weight room, doing extra shrugs, extra neck workouts, put some air in my helmet because I knew it was gonna be a physical game. And so we came out there and had to do what we had to do. Got the job done.
We asked you last week about the defense. Could you celebrate week one as much as the offense? And you said, no, we didn't have a good performance. I'm imagining it was a different feeling after the New England game. Vic Fangio probably in a better mood, probably happier with the defensive performance. I'm guessing the flight home, you're not worried about the defense. You're just enjoying a dub.
Yeah, after a 2-game win streak like that, it's kind of, you're excited and you're motivated. And definitely, like, after this game, the defense didn't necessarily relax. It was more like, okay, this is how we want to play. But I feel like after 2 games like that, you don't want to almost be excited. You want to be like, okay, let's really stay focused, because we can let the winning get to our head and then end up having a relapse. So let's really, like, stay focused on the small details, on the different techniques that we need to focus on going into the week so that we continue this success.
And is Raheem Mostert faster this year, bigger? He looks different. He got a different boost.
Bruh. Faster, stronger, dude. He's elusive. Like, he doesn't go down. I love watching him play. Stiff arms, spinning, making contact, keep going. Like, it's great to see him on the sideline. And Raheem is a guy who battled with injuries throughout his whole career. And seeing him, like, I mean, he on the Niners, he clocked like the fastest time ever, like 23 miles an hour, something like that. So seeing him back there, back in that place, like, excited to play, just out there enjoying himself. I'm loving it from the sideline watching as a teammate, as a fan. It's awesome for real.
You're in your third season. I mean, you've seen different incarnations of the team, and this is not the notorious slow start. This is a very fast start. Is the team having fun? Like, it seems like, I mean, there's great characters, right? Tyreek seems like a character. Mike McDaniel himself is a character. You've got a big personality. Like, does the team mesh well and have fun?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of personality on the team for sure. But I mean, you see, like celebrations and stuff, like guys were doing a stomp the yard celebration, and like they just kind of conjure that kind of stuff up, and it happens on both sides of the ball. And it's great seeing it. Like when something happens, we make a play, everybody's celebrating, everybody's excited for everybody's success. And I think that's what makes the team really, really good late into the season, because you're enjoying the sport, you're having fun. And I think if you continue to have that, then you're able to just, play free and play excited.
And Hawk spoke about the fast start where, all my seasons I played, even when we went to the playoffs, we start slow and kind of figure it out. But with being talked about, like, I'm on Inside NFL, and like we talk about the AFC, you have to bring up the Dolphins now, kind of being that front runner. Is there a different thought? I don't want to say front runner, but it's a thought when everybody's chasing you and you're not chasing them.
Yeah, it is. It's almost easy to be the underdog, because you just get the motivation from, like, they counting us out, they don't really care about us, they're not respecting us. But being a front runner, you got to really focus on the details, because if you lack, then like everybody's chasing you, like you said. So if you take a false step, they're going to be right up on you. So it's a lot more difficult and a harder position to be in, and stay in that position, because everybody's chasing you, everybody's trying to like decipher your plan and what you got going on. But like you said, man, like, being ahead, it feels good, but it's also a tough spot to be in.
That's a great point by Crowder, though, because you guys are being talked about. You were after week 1, and now it's a primetime game for week 2. So everyone who watches football is watching that game.
Right.
And you're watching guys. Pat McAfee said yesterday, if the Super Bowl was played this Wednesday, it's the Cowboys against the Dolphins. And I don't need you to comment on it. We know we're not doing bulletin board material. But there's talk, Crowder and Ryan and Ocho Cinco and Jay Cutler, they're talking about the Dolphins on Inside the NFL. It's not a passing, where you're a Dolphins fan and you'd wait for someone to give a passing shout out to a Dolphins game or a little bit of a mention. I mean, you guys are a lead story. Are you aware of it? And does Mike McDaniel try to mute that? I know the old school coach would say you got to drown out all the noise. You got to focus game 1. But Mike McDaniel doesn't seem like the old school kind of coach. Maybe you're hearing that from Vic Fangio. But like, what's the game plan, I guess, from up top when it comes to all this conversation about the squad?
It's really a positive, neutral self-talk. You know what I mean? Kind of address the facts and what they are, and then move on with your day. You know what I mean? So yeah, we understand that we're being talked about, and yes, it's a thing in the media. Everybody's got social media. Everybody's on social media and sees it. And in the meeting rooms, Coach McDaniel says that, like, hey, look, guys, like, we are a team that's being talked about, but we expected ourselves to be in this position because we have been drilling the details and the techniques for a long time. But that's neither here nor there. We still have a job to do, and we can only focus on what we can focus on right now and what we can control. So, like, that's why we're like a one day at a time, organization. Like, we're only focusing on Wednesday and how we can improve ourselves on Wednesday, and that's it. That's as far as we see. So that's like our whole mantra, is one day at a time.
And when I played, we played. I don't know if you remember the Wildcat year with Ronnie and Ricky. And they ran the little Wildcat offense and all.
Yeah.
Well, we knew the players because we played against them a lot at practice. So when they get in the set, we kind of get excited. We stand up on the sideline, watch this. You play against a great offense for months now at practice. Like, when you see them line up in certain formations, y'all be like, oh, here it comes.
Yep. Absolutely. When you see Tyreek doing all the motions and he moving around, look, bro, I'm like, oh, yep, here it go. Right now. When you see, I'm telling you, bro, I'm like, oh, yeah, I already know this play. Here it comes. And every time Tua is dropping a dime, Reek going crazy, Dub going crazy. So, man, it's fun to see for sure. Like you said, I'm standing up on the sideline excited. Coach talking to me about an adjustment. I'm like looking up at focus. I'm looking up at the Jumbotron. So
it's with that offense, it's hard not to want to watch it.
It's exciting, man. Everybody's out there. Braxton, Reek, Dub, River, Durham, Raheem, Alec, like, everybody's making plays on that offense.
What about your former teammate, Mike Gesicki? I said this to Crowder yesterday. you got to give him props. You're the son of a football coach.
Right.
You've got to give Gesicki props for having the game awareness to know that if he's tackled, that's it. There's literally no other chance. The only thing he can do is lateral, and it doesn't work out for them. Came very close.
Very close.
But you got to being a coach's son, you got to appreciate that kind of game awareness.
Absolutely. That's one of the best heads-up plays that I've seen, and especially because I'm running at him like I'm thinking he's going to try to reach for it, and I'm trying to knock the ball out, and he tosses it back, and I'm like, what is he? And then I realize I'm like, wow, like that's it. And it gets fourth down, and he tossed it to the lineman. I tried to tackle him, almost buckled me, but thankfully Gink was there and Eli, because that was going to be a tough tackle. But no, that was a hell of a play by Mike. I tip my hat to him. It was fun playing against him. I love Mike. He's a great guy, and he was a great teammate. So I'm sure he's doing great things for that team as well.
And speaking about being the son of a coach, like the cerebral side of the game, how much does that play into your game? Because I see you out there pointing, I see you out there checking. Like, you're a younger player if you look at the big scheme of things, but you're adjusting everybody, you're giving them hints. Like, your cerebral side, was that always a part of your game, or does it grow every time you get around a new coach and they teach you the nuances, like you were talking about last week with Fangio?
It was always a part of my game, but as I've grown, it's matured. And every coach, like you said, has taught me more and more. But it started when I was a kid. When DirecTV came out with like the fast forward rewind button, my dad immediately went and got that. Every Sunday is like film study. A team messes up, gives up a touchdown. He rewinding it over and over and over again. I'm sitting on the couch like 12 years old, like, Dad, like, can I just watch the game? But now that I'm older and I'm looking back at those moments, like, it's really put me in a position to be able to understand football at its base level and really apply that to my game as I'm going, throughout games and throughout the season. So it's been nice for sure.
With that coach's mentality. So 2-0 and a dub is a dub. What can the defense still do better moving forward as the season moves on?
I mean, I think apply our techniques. That's one thing for me personally. Apply my techniques, not get ahead of myself or too excited within the game. Allow myself to settle and really be aware of all things. Just kind of calm down when things go bad, and then from there, build back up when the offense needs us. Like, get a great stop or vice versa, kind of thing. So just handling the ebbs and flows of the way that football games go.
Jevon, you're a banger. You're a hitter. You like to hit. I was too. I ran up on a couple dudes in my career, though, that when I hit them, my entire right side went numb. Adrian Peterson was one. Marshawn Lynch was the other one. First time I hit Sean, I asked him, "What are you made of?" Because that's not human flesh. Great players can give credit to other great players. Who's a guy you hit and you were like, woo?
Leonard Fournette, rookie year, 100%. I hit him, and the thing about Leonard is, like, when I hit him, he was laughing the whole time, and that's what really made me confused. Because, like, I try to really hit him, and I hit him with my shoulder. He's still up driving. I'm like pulling him out of bounds, and he's laughing, just like, "Yeah, bro, you got to get your weight up." And then last year I hit Debo. We kind of met, not necessarily in hope. It was an outside open field tackle, and I hit him, and I bounced off a little bit, and then ended up making the tackle. He like, "Get your weight up, young buck. Get your weight up." So those two guys, man, I was like, "Damn!" And I got ran over by Alec my rookie year when he was on the Raiders. The Falcons fullback at the time, I don't remember his name, ran over by him, and then the Houston Texans tight end last year, black dude, he had locks. On the goal line, he ran me over. I mean, he like a 10-yard head start, and I was like in coverage, and then I came off of coverage, and I'm like standing there. He's like 3 yards away. I'm like, all right, bro. So I took the punishment.
Crowder, tell him your weight room is essential story.
You remember Jonathan Ogden, the left tackle, play for the Ravens?
Okay, yeah.
Big pro, all Hall of Famer, first ballot, I think 14-time Pro Bowler or something. So we have a blitz where the wheel walks up off the edge. And the first part of the story is like the coach, you watch film, and we had a coach name was George Edwards. So like when you're blitzing off the edge, he'll kind of give, he'll tell you to maybe try a spin, or up and under, or speed rush, jet, speed rush. When I walk up, I look over my coach, and he shrugs his shoulders. And I was like, what technique is that? He was like, "There's nothing you can do to this guy." And Jevon, I get off the edge. I go down, try to drop my shoulder. He grabs me, picks me back up, and just holds me in the air. and says, the weight room is essential, young man. The weight room is essential. This is in the middle of a play. The quarterback still has the ball behind him.
You can't play with them linemen, bro. I'm telling you. You trying to blitz through the C gap, B gap. They just playing like they blocking somebody else. They waiting for you to come through there. And just, man, I don't play with linemen, man. I don't play with
Was that Leonard Fournette moment? Was that like a welcome to the NFL moment for you where you were like, wow? Because Crowder tells stories all the time. High school, he was always the biggest guy. Middle school, he was always the biggest guy. Then you get to the NFL, even in college, but then you get to the NFL and you're not the biggest guy and you're not the strongest guy and you're not the thickest guy.
Yeah.
That Fournette moment was that a moment where you're like, oh,
that was my welcome to the NFL. I'm like, wow, this is a grown man. Like, I'm trying to tackle a grown man. This is crazy.